Welcome, folks. I am Jabby Kuwait, joined by Achara Kirk.
What's up?
The video we're about to look at came out several days ago. It's called Why Johnny Depp's Lawyer Camille Vasquez Got Emotional During Amber Heard Trial. Now, the rah-rah around the trial has largely subsided as far as I can tell, but this is a video that I personally was interested in, so I thought maybe some of my audience might be interested in it as well. If you guys haven't already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, please, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Here we go.
Well, the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard defamation trial.
Every time I see him, I still see Slater. I can't help it. I can't unsee that.
Camille Vasquez has emerged as the unexpected star from the trial, and I got to sit down with Camille for her first solo interview. Thank you so much for taking the time. And first of all, congratulations. I was so pleasantly surprised to see a young Latina chosen to take on this case that was going to get major headlines and so much attention. And I should have started off with congratulations on being named a partner.
Thank you.
And the law firm right there.
Thank you very much.
Exactly.
You know what's interesting is
What?
I was actually going to kind of remark on that as like sort of a joke. She made partner. Like high five.
Making partner is a big deal, and she really deserved it. She was a superstar.
It would be
case.
it would be an incredibly dumb move not to make her partner
Yeah.
after that trial.
Yeah.
On a side note, Slater looks amazing for his age.
I know. I'm like watching that, and I'm like, oh my god, Mario Lopez, you look really good.
Deserves a little, yeah. How does that all feel right now?
It's been an honor to represent women, to represent Latina women, and just be famous for doing a good job.
What's it like now dealing with this newfound fame and attention?
You know, I just focus on the work. I'm a lawyer at the end of the day. I'm a lawyer. My life has changed, but in a lot of respects it hasn't. I'm still one of two girls and very close to my parents. My mother is here with me today, and
Love that.
You know, I come to Los Angeles often. My sister is a mom and has my niece who is a piece of my heart, and I love her more than anything. My life has changed, but it also hasn't. You know, I'm just a lawyer that's doing her job and representing her clients in an advocate-forward way.
You mentioned trial, and I know Amber Heard has done sit-downs recently about the trial, which just as an outsider, it seems confusing because wasn't the whole point about the defamation and isn't she sort of going
I
on
like
that
this
same
question.
road again?
I think that the verdict speaks for itself, right? This was about Johnny getting up on the stand, telling his story, and telling the truth about what happened in that relationship. And I think he did that, and unanimously, the verdict was he was defamed.
And you'll continue to work with him if needed, correct?
Absolutely. We have another potential trial coming up in July.
And was it always in this particular space, criminal law, that you wanted to get into? As well, because there's obviously so many different areas of law. Was that always the area you wanted to work in?
I mean, yes and no. This had a criminal element to it, this trial did, but it was obviously at the heart of it, it was a defamation case, right? It was about your name and Johnny's name in particular and his reputation and what that means. You know, to me, it's important in a defamation matter to make the jury understand that this affects all aspects of someone's life. And yes, we were talking about a big life. We were talking about Johnny Depp and a lot of money, but it could be your life and it affects your job, your family, your friends. It's your name.
Right.
It's what you have.
Do you think that lawyering for her is like acting for shy people, like Johnny Depp, for instance?
Yeah, no, I was gonna remark on that because when she was kind of talking about herself and her private life, she comes across as really shy and reserved.
Yeah.
She changes when she talks about the law and her job and lawyering and what she does, and she becomes this like super confident, powerful person that we saw in the trial. I love that.
Well, I was doing the comparison in my mind between this interview and any interview I've seen of her, and when she was tearing Amber to shreds in court, going to town.
Yeah.
You know,
She's serious about what she does.
like if they were boxing, she was Mayweather, yo. Like
Yeah.
she was really like bom bom bom, and she just like comes off as this very fierce warrior while she's lawyering. But then here in the interview, it's just like, I'm like, whoa, very like night and day difference there.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was comparing it to actors. Like some actors are quite shy, but then they get into their role. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, for instance.
Yeah.
He comes across as super shy and very like quiet and reserved, but then he gets into his role and he's huge, you know?
Yeah.
Larger than life.
That's right.
It takes someone really brave and courageous to say, you know, I've been defamed and I'm going to bring an action to put a stop to this. And I think Johnny did that.
Was law something you always wanted to get into or something you sort of fell into?
It's something that I always felt that I would be good at. I was a mouthy child.
Yeah.
And my parents said to my sister and me, you know, we want you to be professionals. We're not leaving you with a lot, but we are leaving you with your education. And they pushed us to be professionals. My sister's a doctor and I'm a lawyer.
Wow. Her parents must be
I felt
so
like
proud.
I had two choices, doctor, lawyer, pick one. And I got one of each.
There you go.
So it worked out.
Great job, Mom.
Yeah.
That's like the
And as far as the
immigrant
career
story
path
right there.
that got you here, you went to school. I know you grew up in Orange County. You went to USC, correct?
I did.
Orange County.
Okay.
Wow.
I did.
And was that the only place you considered, or you knew you wanted to stay close to home, or?
I did know I wanted to stay close to home. I mean, that was important to me. So I got into other universities, but USC was the most appealing. I got a scholarship there, and
Wow.
it seemed like the right fit.
I have a young Latina myself and daughter, also two boys. And when you were on TV, I remember grabbing my daughter and saying, "See, Gia, see that's." Then he goes, "That you can be that girl right there. That's on TV." So that's really. I'm going to show her this interview.
Okay.
At the same time.
Wait, what's he doing watching the Johnny Depp trial? With
Everybody was watching the Johnny
his,
Depp
with his
trial.
little
Come on.
girl? I mean, I don't know. Am I weird for asking such a question? Isn't it like a little bit odd that he's watching such a salacious trial with his little girl?
We don't know how young she is. She could be like 10 or 12 or
Sorry,
whatever.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
valid. Because in my brain, when he said my little girl, papas always call their daughters little girls. He could
Yeah.
be talking about someone who's 25. But like in my brain, he was literally talking about like a 4-year-old. I'm like, why are you watching this with a 4-year-old? You crazy?
But not just for other young Latinos, for other young girls in general. It's got to be very inspirational for a lot of young girls and very gratifying, like you said earlier, huh?
Absolutely. I was in trial, and I had a mother take her daughter out of school and drive her to watch the trial. I saw her during one of the breaks, and she stopped me and she made me cry because she said, "I took my daughter out of school. It was important enough because I wanted her to meet you."
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
you know, she said there aren't role models out there, young female Hispanic role models for her to look up to, and
Wow.
you've been that for her. So thank you. And I was really touched by that. And I don't know how it happened, but other than I was just doing my job.
And you're doing it well.
When people come up to you, what do they most commonly say?
Makes me a bit emotional, but they say, "Thank you for being an inspiration for my daughter," or, you know, my sister. That's been the most touching part of this.
Wow.
That's beautiful to see. And when you can see somebody that looks like me, it is.
I saw like little heartstrings being tugged on
I
there. I didn't know
know.
that was there. Who put that in there?
A heart?
Get that
Yeah.
out of there. Jesus.
I love how vulnerable and open she is with her emotions. And I mean, it is a big deal to be someone who is seen as a role model, you know, especially when, like she's saying, maybe there aren't as many role models for young Hispanic girls.
What about Selena Gomez?
I mean, she's someone who's representing how far you can get with a good education, with being a professional. I mean, of course, we have lots of amazing young female role models to look up to that are musicians and actresses
stars.
and all that,
Yeah.
or TikTokers. But here she is, someone
TikTokers. Okay.
doing like a real professional job and doing it really well under the scrutiny of the entire world.
Quite right.
It's like, wow, I can do it too. And when you don't have that, sometimes it kind of messes with you and you start to question yourself. So it's not to put more pressure on you. You know, and I find it ironic too that you have a celebrity case dealing with two celebrities, and yet you seem to be the celebrity that emerged out of this case, which I think is super
Hell yeah.
cool. And with that, Camille, it's funny because there's with fame, rumors start, of course, and there's the fun one about you dating Johnny Depp, which you cleared up and we know is not true. What does your boyfriend think of when he hears stuff like that?
He's wonderful and supportive and loves me and has met Johnny, knows that I've worked for Johnny for 4.5 years now. So, you know, there was no issue there ever. He's just wonderful and supportive.
Yeah, welcome to Hollywood.
Welcome to Hollywood.
There seems to be like a limited series for
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when she introduced him to Johnny Depp. I would have loved to have been there. Hey, Johnny, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I think it's probably a cool moment.
Super cool. Yeah. Like, yeah, those rumors not true at all. I'm her boyfriend. You're just her client. You know what I mean? Like,
I hope
you
that
cannot tell me there was not even an iota of insecurity in that man. Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Johnny Depp's single, and she's attractive. He's attractive. I mean, he's also a millionaire. So, like, I don't know. Like, there's just, I would be a little bit insecure. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'd feel a little bit, tiny bit on edge, but I wouldn't let her know. I'd be like, oh yeah, totally. Stupid people making dumb rumors. We know what the truth is, boo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but maybe in real life he is like that. He's just like, oh, that's so funny. Or maybe he knows her well enough to know that she's not wanting to date a guy,
ship.
no matter how famous he is, who's like, you know, however many years her senior, and she's perfectly happy with her lovely supportive boyfriend.
I hope so. I mean, I'm just, you know, having a little bit of fun. But I'm also letting y'all know that, you know, if I was in that situation, I might be a tad insecure. I think that's normal, though. Okay, all the women in the audience are just rolling their eyes like, oh. But I think all the guys in the audience know what I'm talking about.
Right.
for everything right now. Let's assume they're going to do the Camille Vasquez movie. Who would you cast to play you?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
I think I should leave that to the casting directors. They get paid a lot of money to do that. I don't know. Some wonderful
Jennifer Lawrence.
Latina, hopefully, actress that...
I keep naming white ladies.
I know. Like, what are you doing?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Selena Gomez. There we go.
Just like playing this
Anyone.
politically incorrect.
Yeah.
What is her name? Eva Longoria.
Oh, okay.
There's been some...
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
you know,
I see that.
A little bit like
Totally.
them, so.
Go.
She's a friend of
Do
mine.
it.
We can
Is
line
she?
that up.
There we go.
Oh, my
She's a
God.
sweetheart.
Look at you,
met her
Slater.
many years ago at a charity auction. She was the keynote speaker at the event.
Yeah, she's very cool. I look forward to a very, very bright future, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much,
to
Mario.
come here, and thanks for bringing your mom.
Yeah, such an honor.
The Mama Vasquez right here.
Aw, she's adorable.
She's adorable. She's so sweet and down to earth, and to see her get emotional like that because she's been such an inspiration to so many young girls out there. You can see how it touches her. I love that she's so family oriented. Her mom was there, and you know her father. Hoover was a manager at a Hilton right here in Orange County, and they grew up living in a hotel. And like she said, they focused on being on their studies, on education. Daughter was a doctor, the other one's a lawyer. Mom and dad did all right.
You know, my biggest takeaway from this interview was my goddamn curiosity about Mario Lopez's diet. Like, what the hell is he eating where he looks that good? Good God. Like,
It could also be genetics.
it could be genetics.
Yeah.
You know what they say about Latinos? Don't crack. Or something.
No raisin.
No reason. There's not a saying like that associated with Latinos, as far as I know, unless y'all want to educate me in the comments below. Now that I think about it, I have come across many a Latino and Latina that have maintained their youthful appearance into their later years. So maybe it's just...
Don't be white.
Don't be white. My God. That was a laugh that caught me off guard. My throat, like, went into my throat.
Oh my God. I feel bad. I mean, we're half white. We do love white people as well. But yeah, it's jokes, people jokes.
You got my joke before I did, and then my throat disappeared in the middle of my laugh.
Oh dear.
No, it's a good joke. I was hanging out with a friend, and I didn't realize our difference in age. And when I say difference, I mean I'm older than him. And it struck me as so surprising because I thought he was clear 5 years older than me, at least. Just because, like...
And it's like more the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was really surprising. But I think that happens a lot as you get older and older. You're used to looking at the grown-ups on TV.
This was really interesting, and I'm with Mario Lopez on this. I think her parents must be so proud, especially hearing about her dad who worked as a manager in a Hilton and raising his children to have that tenacity and to focus on education and to then have them both be so successful. I feel like that's kind of like the immigrant story right there. The immigrant dream is like, I was so touched when she said, you know, her dad was like, we don't have much to leave you, but we want you to study hard and to get all these things. Like,
I do wonder about the conversations going on at home, though. Like,
why?
Like, hey, like to Camille's sister. Hey, look at Camille. Look,
oh God,
super famous. Look how well she's doing. Doing very well. What better than you? And the doctor sister's like, she saved one life. You know how many lives I save every day? I can imagine the conversations that go on at home.
I'm sure they're proud of them both.
Yeah. Equally.
Loved
equally.
Equal love. That's what my mom said to me.
I do enjoy, well, she's lying. I do enjoy listening to Camille Vasquez talk. It's just so, like I said earlier, it's so interesting to see the dichotomy, the contrast between who she is like in these kinds of settings versus who she is in a courtroom setting. Because like, it just, she just like goes into tiger mode. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I feel like there's a certain confidence you have when you know your job really well and you are so focused on doing a good job, you know, and you become that person who is just very knowledgeable and like you said, like a tiger. And then when she's just talking about herself and her life, she's all like, I'm not this person who's used to being in the spotlight. But, you know, like Mario Lopez pointed out, she was like the breakout star of this trial. You know, she became a celebrity in her own right.
I enjoyed this interview. I thought it was cool. And damn, I want to know what Mario Lopez's diet is. He probably exercises on the regular. He must be doing something.
He looks great.
Yeah, he looks
great.
I mean,
so does Camille.
If he were to do the Saved by the Bell reunion, I feel like he would come away, by and large, looking the best of the bunch.
He pretty much I mean, to me.
No, Achara.
No.
No, Achara. No. He does not look exactly like he did in the show.
He doesn't. No, I was going to say, like, to me right now, he looks exactly like he does in the show. But then it's one of those things where you go back and you watch the show and you're like, oh my God, he was a baby.
Yeah.
But he looks so good now.
Yeah.
You're like, I'd be hard pressed to say he's older than his 30s, which we both know he's a lot older than that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
If you were to, I mean, they tried to sell us on that with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and everyone pointed out quickly that Hayden Christensen looks a lot older than he did when he did episodes 2 and 3.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, that was obvious.
That being said, I would love to watch him in a new Saved by the Bell show as a teacher or something like that. That has nothing to do with this. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I'm Jabby Kawai. This is
Achara Kirk.
Peace out.